Ground control agents on.
We've been expecting you, Mr. Boyd.
His is the worst voice you will ever hear.
Will he offer me his teeth?
The Tommy Boyd Show will teach you nothing. Nothing.
Always read the label.
Nothing but iniquity and wickedness.
If you really bug me, then I'll say goodbye.
So how will the drop of 0.5% in the interest rate affect Tommy Langley? That's later. But now, hairdressing. We go on about the Champions Cup and the UEFA Cup and the Ryder Cup and our successes as an economic nation and our past successes historically as a military nation, you know. But I don't think this country's ever produced a team of winners quite like our international hairdressers. You've seen it on television time and time again. Don't make me laugh, I'm serious here. You've seen it on television time and time again. Whenever they go to Tokyo or Nairobi or Los Angeles, you see them flying off in their turtlenecks, and they come back inevitably with the cup. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We don't export a lot anymore, but it's clear that the rest of the world is in awe of our hairdressing. So why don't we package it, box it, and market it, and sell our hairdressers abroad? Because 9 times out of 10, we, the taxpayers, are paying for their training. So why aren't we getting anything back in return? It's mainly because they like to stay at home. They know which side their bread is buttered. There's good money being a hairdresser in Britain today. Easy money. Free call 0500 10 53 89. The latest figures that we've been able to get from the National Hairdressers Federation, I'll give you the telephone number in a moment if you want to confirm this, is that the average high street hairdressing shop in Britain turns over between £250,000 and £300,000 every year. And that's just one with 3 seats. Some of the big ones in the big high street precincts with 8 and 12 seats, well, you only have to multiply them because those seats are never empty. You go into a hairdresser's and ask if they can give you a quick trim. They always check the appointment book and tell you that they can't fit you in until about 4:45 that day. And they'll often tell you that you really need to book and make an appointment. That's how busy they are. That's how much money they're making. But we don't begrudge them that because they're good. They are the best. They are the bee's knees. Our hairdressers are the best. And how can you tell that? Because whenever foreign people come to this country, you notice them, you notice their accent, then you notice their haircut. And I honestly think that the Americans are the worst, and America is the richest country, and America is the place to start. If you're a hairdresser, why the heck are you still here? Why aren't you cleaning up top dollar in the United States of America? You never see a man with a decent haircut in America, and the women's are even worse. You know, the stylized view of a woman's haircut, as in Marge Simpson in The Simpsons, is about right. It's a giant blue rinse. It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. They spend a fortune on it, and what do they get? Hillary and Bill both look daft. Bill's haircut is something that you just can't help but notice whenever he's speaking. You notice the big potato nose, then you notice the haircut. But they're special. 85% of American men just have a crew cut. Think of the money you could make, boys and girls, if you picked up your crimping shears and hightailed it to Nebraska. They can afford £17.50 for a wash and a trim and a blow dry. Free call 0500 10 53 89. The reason we should be exporting our hairdressers is because we pay for their training in this country. Now, we pay for our doctors to be trained, we don't mind that, but we like them to stay. We pay for our teachers to be trained, we don't mind that, but we like them to stay. We pay for our hairdressers to be trained, well, fine. But if the country can make some moolah out of exporting them, expecting them perhaps to do 5 years abroad, there's good money to be made in Adelaide, in Thailand, across Africa, and as I mentioned before, certainly in the United States, where you can't get a decent haircut, and send the money back home. It's our money. We deserve it. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd, this is Talk Radio. there's a good argument for listening.
The Tommy Boyd radio experiment.
Yes, me, a little bit of vocal T.H. Babbitt, right here on Earth.
We are the other people. We are the other people.
A load of crap.
Tommy Boyd.
Tommy Boyd.
Do you think that I'm crazy?
No shoes, no shirts, no service.
Yes, working the controls.
Tommy Boyd.
And of course, if they're not too busy, it would be lovely to talk to a hairdresser because they're great conversationalists. I've always wanted to ask a hairdresser things like, what's the hardest haircut you've ever had to do? What's your star sign? That sort of thing. Why are you still here when you can make so much money abroad? Vic calls from London. Vic, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, Tommy.
Hello, Vic.
Hello, Tommy. You talking about £17.45 for a haircut and blow dry? Right? Do you think that's a good price?
I do. I think that's very fair, don't you?
I think, in fact, in my opinion of it, there's not much more we charge in our salons, believe it or not, but I still think it's a very, very cheap deal.
It is. It's very good. It's
Very, very cheap.
very, very good.
Most people come in to a salon and you tell them a price, even just for a haircut, and you say perhaps, it's £10.40. They'll say, how much? And a lot of them do. And I wonder if they ever stop to think, how much does it take them when they drive their car into a garage before they even lift the bonnet on the car?
Exactly.
£50, £50, £60. That's before they put a spark plug in the thing.
Yes. You're a hairdresser, Vic.
I'm a hairdresser.
You're a hairdresser. Are you an active hairdresser or are you retired?
Yes, no, I'm still an active hairdresser.
Right.
I have my own salon.
Good.
And another thing is what you were saying about the public pay for the training of hairdressers.
Yes.
How do you define that? How do you define that?
Oh, the public pay. Well, we pay as taxpayers for the hairdressers because whenever you go in a hairdresser's, the majority of people who are working there are actually being paid for by the state.
No.
Yes.
Got it wrong.
Yes.
Oh, no. Hold on, Tommy.
Tommy. Well, you go. Yeah. I don't want an argument with you because you're a nice man. You're a hairdresser, but.
No, you're wrong.
No, go on.
You're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong. You're talking about YT trainers, aren't you?
Work experience.
Are you talking about those sort of trainees?
People who are allegedly doing courses at college.
I have got one.
Yes, of course you have. Of course you have.
I've got one of them.
Of course you have.
And nobody pays for them except me.
No, well, that's not quite true.
It is true.
No,
I get no allowance for them whatsoever.
Yeah.
No allowance.
No, but you claim it back off the tax.
No, I have to pay them, Tommy.
Yeah, I know, but you can claim
I have to pay them a wage.
But you can claim it. Well, how much do you pay them?
I only claim back their wages back off of tax, the same as you do.
How much do you pay them?
£50 a week, just when they start.
£50 a week.
And then it goes up. It depends how. It only starts at that.
It does go up, does it?
Because we see if they progress within the first couple of months, and if they progress, then it goes up.
Vic, thank you for your call. Oh, and by the way, Vic, I know how hard it is to make ends meet. Have you got the number of the Hairdressers Benevolent?
No, I've got a few numbers of other hairdressing associations.
You have? I just thought you would have the number of Hairdressers Benevolent in case you need them.
No, I'll manage. I'll keep on working.
I spoke to them earlier today. I was very interested to know that there is actually a charity which is set up for hairdressers who've had injuries. Seriously. And I think that's wonderful. Oh. And you don't have to prove that you're a hairdresser to get money from them, to get their help, I mean.
Okay, Tommy. Nice to speak to you, mate.
Bye-bye, mate. It's interesting. There is no hairdressers union. And of course that is part of the reason why there has been a Hairdressers Benevolent for the last 130 years in this country. And if you don't believe me, you can ring them up. It's amazing. So all you have to do is persuade them that you are a hairdresser, and for reasons to do with hairdressing, you can no longer make ends meet or work. And they will help you out, which is fantastic. It just goes to show you don't know what goes on. What an incredible industry it is. British hairdressing, the best in the world. There's not many things left, where we're the best in the world, but when it comes to hairdressing, it's us and then daylight. Alan calls from the Wirral.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, Alan.
Pleased to meet you. Tom, I can only agree with everything you've said about the hairdressers.
You a hairdresser?
I am, yes.
Marvellous.
We are the best in the world.
Oh.
The best trained, and I do agree with what you said about the hairstyles on most of the Americans that we see.
Oh!
I just can't believe it.
Do they ever come into any of your salon?
The odd one does, yes, they do.
What do they ask for?
Well, we usually ask them, what they would like and sort of advise them, because they seem to have this style that is still 10, 15 years old,
yes,
with no layers and no...
Why don't you get out there, man? There must be a fortune to be made. You could take your skill and your English accent to, say, Rodeo Drive, Manhattan.
I think you just tempted me.
You'd clean up. You'd clean up.
The other thing is that what you were saying about the prices, that is what I do disagree with, and agree with the last caller, because it is so difficult to charge £17 and £20 for a haircut, because a lot of people just will not pay that sort of price unless you are in the main cities. And when you're in the suburbs like ourselves, you just can't charge that sort of...
People don't realise you do discounts, don't you? Children's haircuts are cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
OAPs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Unemployed?
No.
No,
we don't do any discount for those. But I mean, our prices are quite reasonable anyway. But
yeah, well,
maybe we should.
No shortage of unemployment in your neck of the woods, is there?
Trying to get decent stylists is a main problem.
But if they're going for a job, they don't want it all straggly.
No. But it's something to think of, Tom. That's a good point.
How many work experience and people going to college who are working at a subsidised wage have you got?
None.
None?
No, they're all fully qualified.
That's very silly of you, isn't it?
Well, it's we're a men's salon, and we find it, we will take apprentices on, and we have taken apprentices on, but just at this particular time, we've got none coming through. Everyone has finished their training, and that's the way it is.
And what's the hardest haircut you've ever had to do?
I don't find them difficult at all, but I think one of the styles that's been around for a few years now, which is still very popular, is the flat top.
Oh, yeah.
And,
that must be a nightmare, especially if someone's got a very pointy head.
Curly hair, nightmare. But we get over it.
Lovely to talk to you, Alan. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyds, celebrating what should be Britain's greatest export, our hairdressers.
Tommy Boyds, he's on the radio, so he must be right.
1, 2, 3,
Barney,
4,
McGrew,
5,
Cuthbert,
6,
Dibble,
7,
Boyd.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Free call 0500 10 53 89 is the telephone number. We're reacting to the news from the National Hairdressers Federation that the average high street hairdressers turns over something like £300,000 a year, which is good money. But nowhere near as much money as they could make if they were to export themselves to the United States of America, for example, where you can't get a decent haircut. You've never seen an American with a decent haircut. Our hairdressers are the best in the world. We pay for their training. We should box them and export them. They can come. You get plenty of nurses and teachers off making fat bucks in Saudi Arabia. I wonder about that. They should pay extra tax when they come back. Same goes for our hairdressers. But let's do the deal. We'll start training them at 15 and 16. They're washing hair. They're sweeping up shavings. They qualify 10 or 12 weeks later by watching what goes on. And then off they go to Albuquerque or wherever, make their fortune and bring it back and give us a bit of it. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Hairdressing, the last thing that we do best in this country. Pete calls from the Isle of Wight. Pete.
Good afternoon, old boy. I'm all for exporting our hairdressers. As far as the males are concerned, the problem is they're all shirt lifters, so I wouldn't object at all to seeing them disappear out of the country. What do you reckon? All called Gervais and stuff like that, aren't they?
I think they're a little bit camp. Most of them. I don't know why that is.
We used to do engineering and coal mining and things in this country. These days, it's crimping and rinsing.
Well, actually, most of the things that we do best in this country, when you think about it, we do tend to depend on the gay or effete man.
That's it.
Not necessarily gay, but effete.
That's right. Yeah.
What do we do best in this country?
All that stuff.
Acting.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Hairdressing.
Tom, I can see a problem with exporting the lady hairdressers, though. There'll be no girls called Sharon left in the country, anywhere.
No, that's true. Let's see, do you want to have a word with her? Let's get a hairdresser up. You stay with us.
Okay.
Pete, and we'll see how camp he is. Tony's on the line from Tunbridge Wells. Hello, Tony.
It's £2.50. He's gone.
He's gone. Never mind.
He was embarrassed.
Yes, he was slightly embarrassed. Jason's on the line from Coventry. Jason.
Hi, Tommy. Hairdressers. I'll tell you what, you said earlier about 17.5 quid for a haircut. That's a scam. I started off at a left school and went into a hairdresser's, and I left because the money was crap and you had to work too many hours. And my dad used to take the mickey out of me and tell people that he had 3 sons, one of each, a boy, a girl and a hairdresser. And I'd pay £6 for a haircut, and that is it. They spend 20 minutes on the hair, that is maximum. At £6, I think it's expensive. So I would never pay no more than that to get my hair cut. And if anyone suggests charging any more, well, where do people get the money to pay it? I never know.
Yeah, but how are you doing with the ladies and stuff?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you got, you know, a tatty haircut...
Yeah.
...in Coventry...
Who's to say my hair's tatty? There's nothing wrong with my hair. I tell you, it's brilliant. But I go to proper barbers, a traditional blokes barbers, where they don't cut ladies. It's these ladies that pay the premium. And when you say about hairdressers not being paid enough, the salon owners make a fortune. The real people, the hairdressers, I agree, are underpaid. Yeah? But I mean, I've not got a tatty haircut. There's nothing wrong with my hair. It's fine.
Jason, thank you for your call. We've still got Pete with us on the Isle of Wight, who has a theory about hairdressers. Nadeem joins us from Birmingham. Nadeem, hello.
Hello?
Nadeem.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, Nadeem. What do you do for a living?
Hairdresser.
Oh, what's your salon called?
Nad Dent Hair.
And whereabouts is it?
It's in Birmingham.
Oh, really? And how many other hairdressers do you employ?
About 4 or 5.
About 4 or 5?
Yeah.
I see. And what's your price for a cut or blow dry?
About £3.50.
Let's have a word with Dilip, who's called from Leicester. Dilip. Welcome to Talk Radio, Dilip.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to talk about the subject of hairdressing.
I see.
I'm glad you raised the subject today on radio, and
yes.
I think it's about time our own public, the British public, was made aware that we, the British hairdressers, are certainly the best in the whole world.
No question about it, is there?
And it's about time we were rewarded for it.
Why do you think you don't get the praise you deserve, whereas, for example, our footballers get too much?
Because the general public is just not prepared to pay a decent price for a decent haircut in this country.
A little bit.
Hey, Tommy, wouldn't their mums and dads be more proud of them if they were doing a real job?
Yes, Dilip. Would your parents be more proud of you if you were a construction worker?
No, I don't think so, no.
Marios has called from Cardiff. Marios, you're a hairdresser.
Yes, that's right, I am. I was just going to reiterate on the point about a good price for a good haircut. And how the chap earlier on I heard, I don't know if I misheard him, was saying about how he wouldn't pay more than £6.50 for a haircut. Now, I've worked in some of the most basic barbershops and some of the, well, I'm currently working in the most expensive barbershop in Cardiff. And there is no competition. We are the best in Cardiff. And the clients are the happiest I've ever seen. It's the happiest environment I worked in, and simply because we charge a greater amount. But saying that, I don't see that profit coming over to me. I don't earn the hordes of money. I stay in hairdressing because I love the trade.
Absolutely. You're born to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love it.
Absolutely.
I would say I'm a barber.
Whoa.
And yet, the gentlemen that come from traditionally the valley areas, you know, the boys, the boyos from the mines and that, they love to come out and then get looked after, not messed about. Now, I've worked...
Yeah, I mean, Pete, what do you do for a living then?
What do I do? I'm an engineer, Tom.
That's very butch, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Hello?
Yes, I wear a singlet. I've got tattoos all up my arm.
Hello?
I'm a real man.
Yes?
Well, let's bring Dave into the conversation. Now, it's Pete, it's you versus 3 hairdressers. Dilip in Leicester, Marios in Cardiff, and Dave in Surrey. Dave, what did you want to say to Pete, the engineer?
Well, I just wanted to point out...
Hang on a second. Dilip, will you turn that racket off in the background, man?
Sorry, mate.
Turn it off!
You're not talking to me, are you?
No, I'm shouting. I'm stomping at a hairdresser.
It's a wonder they haven't got a George Michael CD playing.
Well, I was surprised. I thought there'd be something a lot more artistic in the background at a hairdresser's.
Well, we're all listening to the debate today.
Well, I'm not bothered. I wanna put you, 3 of you. There's 3. How heavy are you, Marios?
185 pounds.
Pounds, okay, Dave?
About 14 stone.
14 stone, Dilip?
13 stones.
These are big hairdressers, Pete.
They are, aren't they? I'm about 14 stone myself.
Well, I'm sure you can look after yourself, Pete. Your allegation is that hairdressers are a bit limp-wristed.
I'll tell you what, Tom, they won't be able to move in a hurry because I guarantee all three of them are wearing extremely tight black trousers.
Correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
If I can call you that?
They won't be able to run. They won't be able to catch me.
No. Yes. Do you get the mental image then that they might be chasing you?
In their dreams, perhaps.
Now, gentlemen, I don't know who wants to answer this. Dilip in Leicester, Marius in Cardiff, or David in Surrey. Pete's suggestion is that your dad would be much more proud of you if you got a decent outdoor job.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, you are right.
He would.
It's proven, Tom.
Well, what did your father say when you said you were going to be a hairdresser?
My dad was a hairdresser himself, so he couldn't really be even more happier than...
They didn't have hairdressers when your dad was doing it. They were barbers. That's
no.
different.
Well, this is the problem in this country about hairdressing. People have still got this old type image of hairdressers.
Can I come in?
Yes.
This is Dave, by the way.
Good work.
I reckon that it's true to say that a high percentage of hairdressers are slightly on the camp side compared to, say, bricklayers. It's true.
It's true.
But homosexual, no. I don't know very many at all.
Never mentioned the word.
They really are quite
Never
rare.
occurred to us. You can be effeminate, and it doesn't have any difference at all in your sexual drive, sir.
Well,
Surely
that's not
that's
what
true.
Pete was saying, is it? Pete was saying that we're all a bunch of shirt lifters.
He used the phrase, but only in a sort of a comedic way. It was a tease.
No, I don't think
A
he was.
teasy-weasy.
He wasn't referring that we're just camp. He is referring we actually back to the other side, I reckon. Well, I don't know. Ask him.
You ride both courses.
That's right. So you know, for the pavilion, sleeves rolled up and a barrel chest. I beg pardon? I've never seen a hairdresser with his sleeves rolled up and a barrel chest.
Actually, you
hello
don't, do
there,
you?
Tommy.
Yes?
Yeah, this is Marius from Cardiff. I will say my shop is purely masculine. We have a cafe bar downstairs in our shop, and it has all the top bro magazines. It has all the men's fashion magazines. And I must say, all the boys work out. We're all pretty tough looking. We all wear a shirt and tie. And we wear an apron. Very masculine, very clean cut.
You wouldn't get me in there if you offered a free bag of chips, mate. Technical thing. Gentlemen, we're going to have to leave the discussion there, which is a pity. It was quite a nice idea, wasn't it, to get a kind of a, sort of Jerry Springer kind of round-robin debate thing. But I think we'll a lot of unanswered questions we'll leave up in the air, and we'll have a word with Danny, who is on the line from London. Danny, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Danny.
You're being a bit hard on the Yanks, mate.
What's that?
Well, I'm here to defend American hair.
You're going to have a bit of a job, aren't you?
Well, you guys keep going on about it. I got a little list of names here.
Go ahead.
Nigel Kennedy. Look at the hair on that.
Well, he's a rock star.
Leon Britton.
He's a rock star. He's only just British.
Leon Britton.
Only just British.
Jimmy Savile.
Never heard of him. You've been over here too long.
Bobby Charlton.
You know more about Britain than
Chris
the average
Waddle.
Briton.
Chris Waddle. Look at the hair on that.
Chris Waddle. I see Torquay have torn up his contract. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, he didn't want to travel.
I know. But it's not that far from Sheffield to Torquay, is it?
Nah.
You're not American.
I am.
No, you're not.
I was thinking...
No American knows that Chris Waddle's just lost his contract with Torquay because Sheffield's too far a drive.
Liverpool supporter, mate.
Oh, saw three of you.
I go back to the European Cup in 1981.
Which European Cup was that? Bayern Munich?
Roma.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
What do the rest of your Yank friends do, bothering with that gridiron and baseball and the rest of it?
Football's a good sport. You
It
should
is
knock
not.
it if you don't understand it.
I do understand it. I've taught it. I've coached it. I was in New York before you were born.
Oh, well, God bless you.
Teaching
It's a good sport.
gridiron is not.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, it's trash.
It's great.
It's appalling.
Anyway, I had a joke. I figure, you should be careful how you talk, because maybe Clinton will launch hair strikes on you.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all I got to say.
Do you know that brought Rowan Martin's laughing, rushing back a joke like that?
I'm just not sure the English got the best hair in the world. Look at, Elvis Presley. Good hair.
Yeah, I'll give you Elvis Presley.
Tom Cruise.
How is he?
Tom Cruise. Good hair.
Well, that's because he gets it cut in London now. He likes it here.
That's true. I should have thought about that.
Yeah, you should.
Anyway, Liverpool for the UEFA Cup. Before
No, not a hope. Not with Ince out. And I don't think Paul Ince will ever play football again, the amount of bans he's going to...
He's not a Liverpool player by heart.
No, that's true. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Was he really an American? The accent was good, but didn't he know far too much about football? More than any man should actually know, frankly. Now, we're discussing hairdressing. Free call 0500 10 53 89. If you disagree with the proposition that it is the last thing left that we do best in the world, hairdressing, then I'd like you to tell me what it is that we do better than hairdressing. The free call 0500 10 53 89.
Tommy boy.
Here's Mark in Rochdale. Mark, you're on Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
Good afternoon, Mark.
I'd like to raise the topic of sexism, actually, on hair cutting. Barbarism. Yeah? A barber cuts men's hair. Yeah? I go for my hair cut about approximately every 6 weeks, and so does my female partner. Yeah? Now I can get my hair cut and cut well. I mean really well. He'll do me sideburns, he'll shave the back of my neck. Before I do go down there, I'll wash my hair, and when I come back, I'll wash it again. And it's fine. I'm happy. My female partner...
Doesn't it get a bit fly away?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I was always taught that if you wash your hair too much, it goes fly away.
I do that if I haven't washed it the night before. What I mean is I like to have a clean head when I go down because I don't want to blow dry. And
So why do you wash it when you come back? Germs?
Possibly.
I see.
Yeah, I do. I just do.
Yeah.
No, Christy, my partner, she goes for a haircut approximately every 6 weeks. Now it can cost her anything from £15 to £20. Now, I'd question this because we argue about it. I said, why the hell do you go down there and you pay £20 and it only cost me £4?
Listen, Mark, if you could, I'm very interested in what you're having to say, but listen, I've got to pop off and make a quick phone call.
Yeah.
Could you keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's very interesting. Just keep talking and telling us your views. And you'll probably hear me in the background talking to somebody else on the phone, because we're a bit short-staffed this afternoon. And take no notice of it, all right?
Right.
But you just carry on with your story.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a full head of hair. I'm with a partner who's got a very similar hair.
Right, we'll have a little chat with Sam in Slough. Well, let's check he's still there.
Yeah. I can't understand why I am only child.
Sam in Slough, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi there.
Can I help you?
I just need a phone number for the Hairdressers Benevolent Fund.
Yes, 01268 754.
What was that, sorry?
01268
Yeah.
754
Right.
620.
Okay,
Do you want the Hairdressers Federation number as well?
No, I've got that.
You've got that?
Yeah.
Have you injured yourself hairdressing?
No.
What do you want the Benevolent Fund for?
I just thought it was a wind-up, so I thought I'd get the phone number off of you.
No, please. They're an important charity. They do a lot of good work.
Do they?
Helping injured hairdressers.
Oh,
Yes.
very good.
But please don't ring them with and waste their time.
No, I'm not going to ring them to waste their time.
Good,
I've
that's
got a genuine inquiry to make.
Good, okay. All right, well, thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Go back and catch up with Mark in Rochdale.
Thank you, Tommy.
Oh, you'd finished?
No, I haven't.
Oh, carry on then.
My barber, yep. He has 2 seats he rents out to girls, yeah. They're both good cutters. But he is a barber with a striped sign, a striped pole outside his shop. Yeah?
Yeah.
He won't cut women's hair.
Right.
Now then, I question this because I believe that's sexism.
Yes.
When she's got to go to hairdressers...
I'm just going to play the commercials for the south of England, Scotland and Ireland whilst you're on, but I'll not play them in the Rochdale area so people can carry on listening to what you've got to say. Okay, Mark, so just keep your story up.
Talking?
Oh, yeah, because it's fascinating.
Well, I do think it's very, very expensive.
No, carry on.
Yeah, I'm carrying on. I do think it's very, very expensive for a woman, and when she's got short hair...
Access all areas with Mickey Horn. He grew up in poverty.
Tommy Boyds Show. 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio.
I I just do not understand it. I can walk down to a barber shop, I'll sit there and with 5 other men and wait my turn. So would my partner. Yeah? But it's not possible.
No.
For some reason. And to me, it's blatant sexism.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Thank you.
Not at all. It's been a pleasure listening to you. I think it's the more...
Now, hairdressing, excuse me interrupting, is a different thing. If you want styling, different thing. But a dry cut, all they do, my barber, he sprays my hair. He tells me it makes it easier to cut and layer, and he does a very good job.
You think that's true?
And I'm sure he could do that with my girlfriend.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it's a barber shop, and a barber cuts men's hair. Now, why?
You've spotted something here. It's almost like a tear in the fabric of logic.
Well, to me it is, yeah. I mean, head's a head, and hair grows at the same rate, usually.
Well, I've read some things, but broadly speaking, what you're saying is true.
I'm not talking about trichology. There's no problem with our scalps, or very, very
Do you know a bit about trichology?
Pardon?
Do you know a little bit about trichology?
A little bit, yeah.
What's
Scalp
that, then?
disorders.
Pardon?
Scalp disorders.
How do you know about scalp disorders?
I used to go with a trichologist's ex-wife.
You used to go out with a
trichologist's ex-wife. A long time ago.
But she often used to talk... She used to talk about her work.
His work.
His work.
Ex-husband's
When
work.
you were going out with her, she talked about...
His work.
His work.
Yeah.
And from that you deduced that it's a bit of a
there
scam.
is such a thing as scalp disorders. I quite agree with that.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Oh, yeah. My main point is, I think it's a major con that men are... I believe you've got a full head of hair as I have. Yeah?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know how long it takes you to have your hair cut. It takes me 10 minutes.
It varies.
Varies, yeah. Depends how long you've left it, but I usually go for 6 weeks before a haircut. Yeah. Keep myself neat and tidy. I.e., so does my girlfriend. But I can't understand the price difference and why a barber can refuse to cut a female's hair.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
I must dash.
Right, okay. Bye-bye, Tommy.
Till the next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Tommy Boyds. This is the Central Scrutinizer. It is my responsibility to enforce all the laws that haven't been passed yet.
Tracy's our next caller in Dudley. Tracy, we're celebrating our hairdressers. The last thing that we do best in the world.
Absolutely right. It's the best job in the world.
You're a hairdresser?
Yeah.
In Dudley?
Yeah, Netherton.
Oh.
It's fantastic. Where else can you work? Have people coming in feeling down and miserable and go out looking fantastic and feeling great.
Yeah,
There's no better job then than that.
No. You're like a nurse.
Yeah.
A mental nurse.
Yeah. We sort out everything.
Yes.
Everything.
And where were you trained and how long did your training take?
Well, when I left school, I went to Dudley College.
Marvellous.
For 2 years.
2 years.
And I've been training ever since for the last 17 years.
So you were formally trained for 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you never stop learning. Never.
No.
Never.
No.
There's always a different challenge every day.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
And what's the most difficult haircut you've ever had to do?
I think it's got to be naturally curly hair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I know. Well, not so much curly, but a tight wave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially
if somebody's got a double crown.
Yeah.
Oh. Where to start?
I'm glad you're talking about hairdressers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, and
You do.
And I'm pleased to be able to say on behalf of a grateful nation. Thank you. Dave's called from Ilford. I think he wants to say, oh, don't go. Oh, she's skedaddled. And Dave, you wanted to congratulate the woman, didn't you?
No, not at all, Tommy. They're a waste of money.
Hairdressers.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't need them. Just grow it long. 12 years since I last used a hairdresser, and even then he didn't do what I asked him to do.
No, but don't you look a bit like a yob?
No, not really. That's a personal opinion, isn't it?
Looking like a yob?
No. Nice and neatly, tied out of the way.
What do you do, Dave?
I'm a gas fitter.
You're a gas fitter. You see, gas fitting is not something that at which we are the best in the world.
Depends. We're the only country that you have to be registered to work on gas. It's law.
Let's see whether Tracy can persuade you to have your hair cut, Dave. Tracy's here. Hello, Tracy.
Hello?
We're through to Dave. He hasn't had a haircut for 12 years.
Oh. Tell him to come to Netherton. I'll sort him out.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do what I asked you to do, and they say I'll just cut a little bit off because I'm trying to grow it.
Come on, we're not all the same.
Oh, you
Don't
are.
generalise us, we're not.
You are.
Honestly, we're not. I
Well, how
promise
come
you.
Every time I go and have my haircut, or when I used to go and have my haircut, it was just cut a little piece off. You always come out, they never do what you ask them to do. They always slag off the last person that's cut it. Oh,
No.
who cut your hair last?
I wouldn't do that. honestly.
Don't believe
You
it.
just have to take my word for it.
It's a long way to go up north to get my haircut.
It'll be worth it, though.
Dudley's not up north. Dudley up north?
Best journey you've ever made.
What's the farthest north you've ever been then, Dave?
Hey, actually, I've been up to Stranraer. I have been north, but it wasn't very nice.
Yeah, Scotland is north compared to Dudley.
Dudley.
Thank you both for your call. Free call 0500 1053 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Talk Radio.
I am seeing the future of radio. The Tommy Boyd Show. Ho, ho, ho.
Let's see what the computer has on hairdressing. Famous people who used to be hairdressers. The Bee Gees, who had their own salon at one time in Blackpool. Russell Grant, Martin Bormann, Arthur Askey, it was a Saturday job when he was 15, Peter Purvis, and Carol Smiley, who still does it part-time from home. Songs about hairdressers. First Cut is the Deepest, Rod Stewart. 6 Months in a Leaky Salon, Split Ends. And Peroxide Holocaust by Eddie and the Hot Rods. Things you didn't know about hairdressing. The only place in Britain not to have its own hairdressing salon is the Cumbrian town of Netgill, which has 3 pubs and a vasectomy clinic instead. The South Sea island of Tonga has a parliament consisting of 118 democratically elected hairdressers. Greek philosopher Homer had the idea for his book The Odyssey in the hairdressing quadrant of the Parthenon in 268 BC. And finally, Alex Keir from Montrose was resident hairdresser on the Titanic, and he continued cutting hair. I guess that's true. It wasn't in the film. He continued cutting hair on the deck as the ship sank on its maiden voyage. Perfectly possible. Free call 0500 1053 89. Hairdressing, the last thing we do best in Britain. Liz calls from Milton Keynes. Hello,
Hi,
Liz.
Tommy. Nice to speak to you.
Hi.
I've got a date at 5:30 to go for a drink, right, with a guy called Mike. He's 46, and he's been bald since he was 16. And he saved up £2,000 and went to London and had a hair transplant.
Right.
Right. He didn't tell his parents, who were elderly at the time. He was a late developer, you know. And he had to wear this woolly hat with all the bleeding. And today, he couldn't afford the rest to put in.
Oh.
So his head looks like a row of crochet knit needles. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
And the poor guy could never afford the other £1,000 to fill it in.
Poor man.
Well, he's been bald since he was 16.
Do you talk about it, him and you?
Well, it's like, do you look at it?
No. God, whatever you do, feast your eyes on his eyebrows. Don't let your eyes flicker up beyond his eyebrows, because he'll be mortified. He must be very aware of it.
I mean, it looks like a row of, if I was crocheting or knitting, you know, if I could get some super glue and stick some tufts on, but he's got all, he said, I didn't tell my mum. He went to London and he paid £2,000 for this.
Yeah.
He wore a woolly hat.
Go for a drink with him, pull out a big tube of super glue and tell him that you've got something interesting in mind, and who knows where the evening will end up, Liz. Let's talk to Valerie, who calls from Hampshire. You're on Talk Radio. Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Tom. I just want to put you right on one thing. My grandmother saved her pig money for 5 years so that my mother could train as a hairdresser. So I don't know what you mean by we pay for hairdressers to be trained.
Well, these days, you see, that was a long, long time ago.
Oh.
These days, what hairdressers do is they get work experience people who you don't have to pay anything for, who are lured there because they think they might end up as an international hairdresser, to wash hair and sweep up the cuttings on the floor and mop out the foyer area and that sort of thing.
Apprentice, that's called, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
We're paying for them, you see, because they're claiming. And colleges as well. A college, if somebody wants to train to be a hairdresser, a college, right?
Yes.
Will teach them for 2 days.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then they'll pay a hairdresser to have the person train in the hairdresser's shop.
Oh, I see.
Are you with me?
Yes, it's all times are different, aren't they?
Isn't it?
And I do hope Rose was pregnant when Titanic sank.
Why?
Because to me that was the essence of the thing. And all my friends I went with said, no, she wasn't. I said, yes, of course she was. But no, she wasn't. She was, wasn't she? She was pregnant.
Whilst we're changing the subject, what is pig money?
Pig money? Oh, well, she used to keep pigs in the forest and sell them.
You don't keep pigs in the forest. You find pigs in the forest, woman.
No, you used to put them out for to get the acorns every autumn, and my gran used to keep pigs, and she saved the pig money. What she got for the poor little things for bacon, I'm afraid. And Mum went to train in London and cut the Kennedy boys' hair.
Well, we'll have to leave that to another day.
Oh, yes.
But do ring and tell us about
Panic, it's called Panic.
Yeah, do ring and tell us about the haircuts that you've given future American presidents another day.
Yes. Bye then.
Bye now. Free call 0500 10 53 89. You want Peter Dealey? He's next. I'm Tommy Boyd. Talk to you from 3 tomorrow, the wonderful hour. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.